Hey guys, it's Gary Simmons, the Baby Boomer Health Coach. I'm here today just to share a little bit about true omega-3, which I never stop talking about, as you know that already from reading my emails. But I did have the experience just this week. I think it was day before yesterday. One of my customers, longtime customers, Bill McCullough, called in, and he needed to fix up his credit card, and we got the order to put through. He gets 3 bottles of True Omega-3 240 every 3 months, and we were discussing. He said, Gary, I'm 79 years old, and I have no joint pain. I'm going home right now. He was in his truck. He had just gassed up. He was going home. He said, I'm going to go cut the grass. So he's 79. He's going home to cut the grass. He's telling me he doesn't have any joint pain. And the reason is true omega-3. So, and he takes 4 capsules in the morning and 4 capsules in the evening. Now, that sounds excessive, except for the fact that he's 79. And most people, when you approach your 70s and even your 80s, arthritis is a really big deal. It's like it doesn't, nobody escapes it. Our bones and our joints, they do wear out over time. So true omega-3, this isn't the first time I've heard of people taking quote unquote mega doses of omega-3. Mary Spar and her husband, they also take 4 in the morning and 4 in the evening. Now, I was taught at the very beginning 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening as being a qualified dose for people with high risk factors for heart disease. So 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening gives you over 4 milligrams a day, 4 grams a day of EPA and DHA. So our capsules are 70% EPA DHA, which is a very high constituency compared to regular fish oil that you find in the supermarket or in the big box stores, which is usually 300 milligrams per thousand, or 30%. So the higher concentration, 70%, the higher number of capsules per day, if you got to be able to tolerate it, obviously, and about 1% of the population may not be able to take that high of a dose because of stomach issues. But I want to also just talk a little bit about the morning and evening dose. There's a physiology behind that. So there's 2 times to take omega-3s. Like one of my customers called in and said, I'm taking it at lunchtime. I said, well, it's better that you take it than don't take it. But there's a rationale for morning and evening dosing with omega-3. And the evening dose is probably the most important to me physiologically, because as you go to sleep, the first 2.5 hours of sleep, the liver's actually in work mode. And basically the assessment is being done, the immune system, the whole scenario of what's going on in your body is reported to the liver, so the liver can create and produce hormones and vitamins that are needed by the body, including cholesterol. If the arteries are suffering and there's some seepage, blood trying to leave the artery through cracks and little tiny crevices, cholesterol's the patch. Cholesterol is the sort of the filling in the potholes on the road, so they have a smooth ride down memory lane there. So the arteries carry the blood. The antithesis to the immune system is blood leaking from the artery. That's not acceptable, and the body goes into a high alert, tells the liver produce more cholesterol, which is why a lot of people have high cholesterol, because the arteries are in a state of deterioration. So taking the dose just before you go to sleep ensures that you have this really great beneficial fatty acid in your bloodstream while the liver is calculating how much cholesterol to produce that night. The morning dose, when you wake up, it doesn't even matter if you're getting ready to go to work in the morning or if you're a retired person, you still got a lot of stuff to do. Everybody's busy. And I know this from personal experience. If you move into a state of semi-retired or retired, there's still a lot to do. And as you get up in the morning and you start your day, there's a stress factor involved. And consequently, statistics show that heart incidents such as stroke and heart attack, generally the highest statistics in looking at a week's time, the pattern is Monday mornings is when most people have their heart attacks. And so if you take the morning dose of omega-3, what are you doing? You're adding an anti-inflammatory to your system. You're expanding the elasticity of the artery walls. And just another story, I had a customer, this happened a few years ago. A guy called in, ordered 6 bottles of True Omega-3. And I was talking with him, and we were just going over the benefits and everything. And he said, yeah, I know. I actually wanted to quit taking omega-3s. And I said, why? And he says, because I had my heart attack. And I had just told him that if you keep taking your omega-3s, chances are you won't have a heart attack. He did have a heart attack. After having been on omega-3s, he still had the heart attack. And he said, I asked my cardiologist, should I stop taking omega-3? It doesn't seem like it does anything. He says, no, the omega-3s is what saved your life. Because he was taking omega-3s, even though he had the heart attack, he still had enough blood reaching the heart through the capillaries, had built new pathways to the heart, and the doctor said, don't you dare stop taking the omega-3s. This is what saved your life. So there's a lot of benefits to omega-3s, and I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it makes sense for you to stick to your regimen. That's what I told Bill. I'm very proud of him. And even myself, I just recently, I'm Medicare recipient now. I'm 65. And a lot of things change when you go on Medicare. You start thinking about things in a different way. But I just felt like, I wanted to try something different. And, sort of the homeopathic theory is that a little is better than more. Like, Americans, we think the more the better. And in homeopathy, it's just an essence of the mineral or the herb that's being given to incite the body to react in a certain way. It's not a mega dose type of methodology. So I cut back on my omega-3s. I cut back to 3 in the morning, no dose in the evening, which is kind of dumb, but that's what I did. And I went to see my doctor recently. She said, no. Do the evening dose. You need the morning and the evening dose. So she confirmed for me what I already knew and what I've been teaching for all these years. But sometimes you think, well, is this the right thing to do? Am I spending too much money on supplements? I have to buy supplements from my own company. It's not free for me. Like, everything costs something, and we all have to pay the fiddler sooner or later. But I'd rather preempt a heart condition or a high risk factor or a cardiac incident by spending a little more money on myself. The return on investment's great. So the over and out, I went way too long on this, but have a good day.